What's happening, everybody? Once again, Justin Davis, Principal to the People, where this is the 8th episode of A Principal's Perspective. And this week's lesson is one that I'm sure all of you all can relate to. And when I say all of you, I mean parents, teachers, principals, and even students. This week's lesson is centered around the idea of self-care. When you're in the service industry, specifically an industry like school, you have to make sure that you are the best self that you could be. So as you look at me right now, I know that you notice that I'm a little scruffier than normal. And what that means is that basically I was on vacation. So if you follow me and you haven't seen me posting consistently every day, that's because I posted a picture of maybe a wine cooler, or a picture of somebody with their feet kicked up, or on a beautiful island. Because this week I've been on vacation. And I've been really adamant about taking care of myself, doing some things for myself so that I can be the best me when I go back to work, starting on Monday, which is tomorrow. So this lesson is for, let's first and foremost, let's start with teachers. Teachers, self-care is one of the most important things you can do. If you are not taking care of yourself, a lot of times when you're in the classroom, you're probably more frustrated and stressed than you probably need to be, which makes your job a lot harder, and it probably makes it a little bit more difficult on the students. So, give you an example of what self-care could look like even during the day. Teachers, I find that many of you all, because you have such a giving heart, you all aren't even taking your lunch breaks. You have students in on your lunch breaks, and as a principal, that's commendable. I love it. I see the hard work, and any principal would love that. But you have to take care of yourself. If you have a situation where you want to give extra help for students, put a schedule together. Don't just have the kids just showing up anytime where you just have to stop doing what you're doing on your lunch break to tend to their needs. Put a schedule together maybe once or twice a week and say, anybody that needs support or help, you can come up on your lunch break and I'll take the time and I'll work with you. That way you have some control over it and it's not as stressful and you don't feel like you're just being, things are just being taken. Because students will take as long as we're willing to give. The next group, principals. Listen, I don't know any other way to say this besides principals. When work is over, try to disconnect. I know it's difficult because we look at this as more than just a job. For many of us, it's a calling. But we have to try to disconnect. We have to turn off the phone. We have to not check the emails. We have to spend time with our spouses and quality time with our spouses, not where we're, kind of thinking about work and not really connecting. And even with our kids and our children, principals, leaders, you have to find a way to take care of yourself by disconnecting so that you can be the best principal possible when you go back. Parents, oh my goodness, parents, you have the toughest job of all as far as self-care because you're constantly bombarded with trying to take care of your children. But here's something that you may not have thought about doing, but you probably should do if possible. Once a month, find a way to do something for yourself, whether that's a 45-minute massage, whether it's just going to get your nails done, whether guys, if you're just getting together with the guys and just go out for, just to have a drink and not really do anything, but just to have a drink and decompress. And when I said drink, it doesn't have to be alcohol. You can drink a Coke, whatever it is that you drink, just to be able to engage with other men and just have some good time, laugh, watch the game, whatever it is that you do. So this message is about self-care. In order for us to be the best for our children and our students, we have to find a way to care for ourselves. We are constantly giving to others, and at times, that's taken for granted, and nobody wants to give back to us. So in those instances, we have to be the ones that are willing to give to ourselves and take care of ourselves. So once again, this week's lesson, self-care. You all have a phenomenal work week, and most importantly, have a spectacular school week. Love you all. See you next week.